We are back, baby! NRL 2022 season is just around the corner, and there is no better time to return than now. We are back. I don't know how consistent this is going to be, but we're back. So we're going to go over pretty much everything that's happened with the Broncos over the last 3 months, I suppose, and the upcoming 2022 season as well. But guys, if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. Even though I don't upload, I still appreciate it. But look, I just want to welcome you guys back. Hopefully we're going to be doing regular videos. When I say regular, I mean maybe 1 or 2 a week, if that. Guys, I do have this other streaming thing I'm doing, so if I'm not doing videos, I'm doing that. It's going really good at the moment, and if you guys do want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below in the description. If you're into NBA or anything like that, leave a link in the description. But that's my main focus. This is like a secondary thing, but if you guys show mad love, I'll probably end up doing more videos just for you guys. But look, we're going to get into the news over the last few months. There's been a bit of Broncos news, not too much, but I'm glad we've been out of the drama a fair bit over the last few months, because the last few years we've been in the news way too much, and I think it ripped our club apart. But hopefully the boys can keep their heads in until the season starts, and we can start ripping in. But we're going to start with the departures of the club at the end of the 2021 season. Obviously there was a fair few. The main one probably being Jermaine Asako. Not Jermaine Asako, what the fuck? Xavier Coates. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. Xavier Coates being the main one. Obviously he's gone to the Melbourne Storm. Fair play. Obviously Melbourne Storm are a top club with a top system. I genuinely don't blame him for going there, especially with the position the club was in at the time that he signed with Melbourne. I think if he had made a decision later in the year, I don't think he would have went personally. But look, obviously with Xavier Coates leaving, Ethan Bullimore off to Manly as well. That's, you know, he's a good young talent. I think he's going to shine in Manly, especially if he gets a crack. I really do like him. He's got a bit of speed for a big front rower. But good luck to him. Also, we got Matt Lodge, who already obviously departed during the year. Tavita Pangai. Alex Glenn retired, obviously. Congratulations, Lexi, on a great career, man. He's killing it on Twitch at the moment with Chiefs and everything else that he's doing on Twitch and content creation. Good luck to you. But yeah, look, I can't really think of any other departures. Obviously, there's a few there that have left, and I can't really think of any at the moment, but they're the main ones, I do believe. And we'll get into the signings as well. I know you guys are excited for our signings for the 2022 season. Obviously, the main one being Adam Reynolds, which I'm really, really excited about. Adam Reynolds is top 3 halfback in the league, has been for a while, and I'm very excited to see what he can bring to this Brisbane team, especially with the young, raging forward pack that we have in the club. Also, we got Kurt Capewell coming in as well, going to bolster that backline forward pack as well. You know, just coming off of winning a premiership against Adam Reynolds, obviously. So that's really good for our second row, especially with Lexi retiring. Having someone like Kurt Capewell, an Origin back rower, a premiership winning back rower now in that back row with Jordan Ricky as well. But yeah, they're the 2 main ones. But the other signings we have are Branko Lee as well in the centres. Personally, I don't think he's going to start, but from what I've been told from Inside Intel at Brisbane, that he will be starting centre at the moment. But, you know, trials are coming up. Our first trial game is February 12th against Wynnum Manly at 4 p.m. I think it's in Wynnum as well. So if you guys are in Brisbane and you want to go watch that, I definitely recommend going to it. Definitely see how boys have been progressing during training. But obviously trials don't mean shit. But, you know, if you guys go back on the channel, I did react to the Broncos vs Wynnum game last season in the preseason, and I did say Reece Walsh killed it. Selwyn Cobbo killed it. And where did Reece Walsh end up? He shined for the Warriors. We let him go, and he's now a fucking superstar in the league after 1 season. So, you know, you might see some crazy young talent on the Wynnum as well. Make sure you have a good look at that game. I might be live streaming that game. We'll never know. You know, if you guys want to see me live stream that game, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely be down to do that. Very excited to see the boys back in action. Also, Jordan Pereira, JP Money. I know Jordan Pereira. He follows my Twitch. He joins my Twitch chat pretty often. So he's a good mate of mine. I think he's a great wing. I think he definitely has a shot at making that starting lineup on the wing. He's a very, very big workhorse. He loves hard work. He loves the training. He loves the CrossFit. He loves everything like that. So Jordan Pereira is a great, solid player. He's pretty experienced now. Obviously, we picked him up from the Dragons, but I really do like that signing. Obviously, we also signed Corey Denson from the Cowboys. I think that's a pretty good signing. Very consistent middle front rower. I don't mind him. Well, Do we need another front row? Not really. But speaking of the front row, we got Ryan James as well. I think Ryan James is actually a really good signing. He's going to help come off the bench. Obviously, he's getting old. He's back end of his career. He's in the back end of his career, but he's definitely going to help shape these younger forwards coming through, like Thomas Flegler, like the Payne Haas. Obviously, Payne Haas is the best front row in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. Best front row without a doubt, and he's only 21 years of age. So look, he has a long career ahead of him, but with the experience of Ryan James there, it's going to help him improve a lot more than what he already is. And Flegler, hopefully he can settle Flegler down a little bit. Obviously, he's a bit of a loose cannon at times. I know a lot of people, Lockie, I'm speaking to you, mate, don't like Flegler, but I see a lot of potential in Thomas Flegler. Obviously, he played Origin last year as well. So that's going to boost his confidence for the upcoming season, and hopefully he has a great season. I'm trying to think of who else we signed. Obviously, we got Ezra Mam came in from Intrust as well. Who else did we sign, lads? I think that's pretty much it, really. I'm pretty sure that's it. Adam Reynolds, Kurt Capewell, Branko Lee, Jordan Pereira, Tamare Martin. That's one. I always forget about Tamare Martin. Tyron Roberts is there on a train and trial. I think that's pretty much. Lads, if I forget someone, I'm sorry, but yeah, Tamare Martin come back from I think he had bleeding on the brain or something like that. I can't quite remember what he had, but it was a pretty serious injury. Forced him to miss rugby league for about 4 years, I think 3-4 years. So obviously it's good to see him return. Obviously his 2017 form was outrageously good. So if he can get back to that kind of form, which look, I don't expect of him, obviously already. It's in his first preseason back since that injury. But if he can get that form, he's definitely in tension for that 6th spot as well. So they're all the new signings, I believe. If there's anyone else I missed, lads, let me know in the comments, because my mind's probably a bit cooked right now. But yeah, so that's all the new signings and all the departures that I can think of. But we're gonna get into my predicted team as well. The predicted team, obviously, I see Fox Leagues and they're fucking stupid. They're completely fucking stupid. I'm gonna go through my team that I would play, and then lads, drop your predicted Broncos team list down below in the comments. I'd love to see what Broncos team you would be running with round 1 against the Rabbitohs. But for me, I'm just gonna go off the top of the head what I think would work and what I want to happen. At fullback, I think Tessie New deserves it. I think he will get it. Tessie New will be the fullback to start the 2022 season. Obviously, I think Selwyn Cobbo will be our long-term fullback. He is a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. He's an absolute superstar in the making. Come out of nowhere too, to be honest. Like I said, if you watch that trial game video that I did earlier in the season last year, I literally said Selwyn Cobbo has been outstanding. So, Cobbo's got a big future ahead of him. He had a great Intra-Super Cup final series this season. The season just passed. Obviously, they lost in the grand final, but he had outrageously crazy runs. In the semi, he had a crazy fucking 70-meter yard fucking run. Pretty much won them the game. Grand final, he scores a try. I think he gets a try assist, couple of try-saving tackles. He just wants to be involved, and I love Selwyn Cobbo. But Tessie New, and he had a great back end of the year in 2021, and I think he'll be our fullback to start the year. On the wing, this is where it gets interesting, because I've had insights of people that's gone to training and been watching the boys train, but I've had insights that on the wings at the moment has been Corey Oates and Selwyn Cobbo. Now, that was a couple weeks ago. I don't know at recent times, after Christmas. I'm not sure about that yet. I'll have to go back and ask who's been going and what's been happening, but at the moment, apparently it's Corey Oates and Selwyn Cobbo. Personally, I would have... would I? It's hard because we're so deep as a squad now. It's hard to pick. But I think Corey Oates, he gets the meters out of the backs. He's a great meter reader, bringing the ball back. I think he has to start. Obviously, Jordan Pereira will be pushing for that spot. I think Herbie might be pushing to the wing, but we're going to get into Herbie soon. We're going to get into Osako, obviously signed with Redcliffe soon. Yeah, so personally, I'd go with Corey Oates, and I want to go JP. I want to go Jordan Pereira, but I know it's going to be Cobbo. So I'm going to say Selwyn Cobbo on the wing with Corey Oates. And then the centers, obviously, it's going to be Katoni Staggs. Hopefully, pray to the gods that Katoni Staggs has an injury-free year and he can get back to his best footy. Because when he's playing football consistently, I have no doubt in my mind that he's the best centre in the league. No doubts. Most devastating ball runner in the league, definitely at centre. Him and Joey Manu are neck and neck, in my opinion. And the other centre should be Herbie Farnworth, but from what I'm told, he hasn't even been training at centre. He's been training in reserves because all the talk of him signing with Redcliffe at the moment. Obviously, Redcliffe, they're recruiting, man. They've got Jermaine Osako. Obviously, Jermaine, he didn't get it done in Brisbane. Obviously, he's not a fullback. In some opinions, he's not a fullback, but under Wayne Bennett, you never know what he can become. I still think he's a great player. He can still get that wing spot, in my opinion. He's still a great winger. He has a lot of potential. He's an athlete. He's just a complete athlete. He has the step. He has the speed. He has the goal kicking. He's a great player, but I think Herbie should be playing that centre spot with Katoni Staggs, but I believe it'll be Branko Lee at this stage. So we move into the halves. I don't even have to mention the halfback because we know it's Adam Reynolds, but I personally believe Adam Reynolds will pick his own halves partner. It makes the most sense. He would want to play. He has to choose who he wants to play with. Now, the options that they have right now at 5'8" will be Tyson Gamble, Albert Kelly, Billy Walters, and Ezra Mann. So they're the four options. Now, lads, let me know who you pick down below in the comments below, because there's only two options here for me. Only two. And it's either Tyson Gamble or it's Ezra Mann. Now, hear me out. Ezra Mann's only played one year of interest. But that boy is a star, man. He's an absolute star. He's got it all. I think his speed. I think he's the fastest at the club at the moment. His speed in the 5'8" role, he could be devastating with Reynolds. Obviously, like he's got the talent there. But if I know Kevy well enough, he's going to pick a defensive 5'8", and I think it's going to be Tyson Gamble. But from what I've heard, Tyson Gamble's been interesting at training. He's been a bit, maybe over trying a bit. I don't know, overplaying his hand a bit at training. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not there, so I can't speak for myself. But I personally think it should be Gamble. But I think Ezra Mann will crack that team sometime this year. As for Albert Kelly and Billy Walters, for me, if Albert Kelly doesn't start, he won't be in the squad. I think he'll be playing reserve grade, and I think he'll be out of the club within 10 weeks. There'll be another club in the league that's going to need a player like Albert Kelly. It's just not us at the moment. So I think Albert Kelly, I think he might even end up at the Titans. I'm going to be honest. But I think he might make his way to a different club halfway or even before then if he doesn't stop. So that's my halves. Will be Tyson Gamble and Adam Reynolds. Front row, Payne Haas, and the other front rower, I personally, it should be Patrick Carrigan. Obviously coming off an ACL injury. He's fully fit, ready to go. I think Paddy Carrigan will play Origin this year as well. If he stays fit, he's definitely an Origin type player. He's consistent. He just gets all the hard work done. He's a great player, and he should be starting front row with Payne Haas. Hooker will be Jake Turpin, but I tell you what, Corey Pakes, he'll be pushing him. I'm telling you. I love Corey Pakes, man. He has a great running game to him. He can kick the ball because he played halfback in his juniors. Look, I love Jake Turpin, man, but this is his do or die year, I believe. He needs to step up a bit attacking wise. Obviously, he hasn't had a great last 2 years. Obviously, he had injuries over the past 2 years. So I think this is his year. He has to play well, especially with the squad that we have. Back row. Now, people think this is a simple back row option, but I think there's a few picks here, and hear me out, lads. Hear me out. So obviously, Kurt Capewell will be starting on one edge, and I'll tell you what edges are playing what in a sec. But the other edge, I don't think Jordan Ricky has that spot locked down whatsoever. Obviously, we have TC Rabadi there. We have Brendan Piacora there. So we have those younger players there as well. I know Jordan Ricky's a lot more experienced, and he's still a great player. But lads, we're paying Piacora about $700K. We're paying him more than we're paying Ricky. He has to get a crack in the squad somewhere because the board pressure on Kevy and the management there, the pressure is going to be on to play this kid. We're not going to be playing him. We're not going to be paying him $700K for him not to play first grade. So I think he's going to have to be in the team somewhere. And if he's not starting, then he's definitely on the bench because we're not wasting $700K for a player that's going to play reserve grade for the whole year. So I think he could potentially start Piacora. Obviously, he played one game last year. He got sin binned in his first game. wasn't the best debut for him, but I think he could definitely start with Capewell. And at lock, it has to be Kobe Hetherington, man. Kobe Hetherington's a great young player. He does all the dirty work, gets through it. I think he's a great player, great passing game, good playmaking game. Definitely our lock for the future. I'm glad he didn't go to the Doggies because he's a very good player and he's our lock for the future for sure. Now that jersey 14, personally, I think Ezra Mann's got that, honestly. Or it's either Ezra Mann or it's Billy Walters, or even Corey Pakes if he doesn't get the hooker role. It's out of them three. Personally, I'm to see Ezra Mann get it. Obviously, he's quick. He can play the 6. He can probably run out of dummy half. If Turpin can't play that hooker role, obviously his defense isn't as good as Turpin's or Corey Pakes' to say, but I'll definitely be given it. He's going to have a lot of impact. He could probably play a Tyrone Peachy type of role off the bench, but I don't know. I think I'd give it to Ezra Mann. Give him the experience he needs in first grade off the bench. I'd definitely put him there. On the bench for our front rowers. Now this is hard because we have a lot of depth in the forwards. A lot of depth. I think it will be Ryan James, Thomas Flegler, and back rower. Man, I don't know, man. See, the bench is the hardest part for me. The bench is the hardest part for me to pick because there's so many options, especially young players. I think Keenan Palacia could be in there. I think TC Rabadi could even be in there. Pia Cora, Jordan Ricky. It's so hard to pick. Personally, I would have Jordan Ricky starting and I would have Pia Cora on the bench. Obviously, that means TC Rabadi misses out. That means Keenan Palacia misses out. That means a lot of other names miss out. But I think that's the best way to go because we're not keeping a $700,000 player in reserve grade for a year. It does not make sense. We're paying him $700 plus. It does not make sense. They'll face the pressure, and I think he'll be on the bench somewhere, Pia Cora. So my bench will be Ezra Mann, Ryan James, Thomas Flegler, and Brendan Pia Cora. That would be my bench. So yeah, that's my predicted team. That's what I'll personally go with. Let me know, like I said, let me know your teams down below in the comments below as well. But I just want to give my general thoughts on how the team will do this year. Obviously, our draw. Obviously, we've got the Rabbitohs round 1 at Suncorp. I will be going to that. So if you do see me in the crowd or you see me walking around, come say hello. I'll definitely be there. I will be at round 3 against the Cowboys as well at Suncorp. So if you see me again, I'll be with Nick from Australia. So if you see me, come say what's up. Obviously, we've got the Doggies round 2. So, lads, our first 3 rounds are very, very winnable. Obviously, remember, Rabbitohs don't have Latrell Mitchell. They don't have Adam Reynolds. They don't have Wayne Bennett. They don't have a proper halfback. So, realistically, we should be winning against the Rabbitohs. Obviously, it'll be a tougher game than what I expect. But I think we should get round 1 done, especially with the squad that we have now. Round 2, Doggies, I think we beat the Doggies. Obviously, Doggies, they recruited well, but they didn't build on anything last year, in my opinion. They don't have any building blocks built, so I think this year it'll be their year to build, like the Broncos did last year. We built a building block at the back end of the year, or towards the middle and the back end of the year, and we built towards this year to propel us into the 8. I think the Bulldogs will have that type of year. They might even be better than what we were last year. They probably will be, but I still don't see them making the 8. So I think we beat the Doggies and Cowboys. Man, they're in a rough year, I think. I think they're in for a rough year. Don't get me wrong. They haven't really recruited that much, to be honest, but I think they're in for a rough year. So I think we beat them. Then the first 3 rounds, I think we have a really tough draw between round 6 and 10 or something. I think we play all top 8 teams from last year, if not top 6 teams, I think. So, we got a hard draw. We got a pretty hard draw towards the middle of the year, but hopefully we can get it done. I do want to talk about Asako. Obviously, like I did say before, he has signed with the Redcliffe Dolphins for the 2023 season. Good luck to him. I hope Wayne gets the best out of him. I love him as a player. Obviously, he's not as consistent as I would like him to be, but I still think he's a really good player and he has a lot of potential to do well in the league. And Herbie Farnworth has also been rumoured to leave the Broncos. Obviously, he's put his contract talks on hold until the end of the season to give him more time to think about going to Redcliffe for the 2023 season. Personally, I hope Herbie stays. He has a lot of potential. He's really good setter, great footwork, breaks the line quite easily, to be honest. Every time he breaks the line, I feel like he just does it so easily, but I love Herbie. If he can get a little bit of a passing game in his game, I think he'll be a great centre. Hopefully we can lock him down for the future. And obviously, boys, I think the main part here, we got Adam Reynolds. And I'm very, very excited for Adam Reynolds in Brisbane colours this year. But yeah, now general thoughts, I think we're in for a pretty good year. I'm pretty confident this year. Obviously, last year's preview, I said I wasn't expecting anything, and I'm so glad I didn't expect anything because it made watching them much more enjoyable, especially in the back end of the year. Because my favourite game last year, I have two favourite games last year. When we beat the Roosters at the SCG, the only club to do it, only Queensland club to do it. What a beautiful game that was. And then when we came back from 22-0 down against our rivals, the Gold Coast Titans, man, what a game that was. I went to the wrong Gold Coast game last year, but oh well, they're my two favourite games from last year, boys. I'm really excited for this season coming up. Again, our trial games are February 12th, so 2 weeks time, basically, 2 weeks time, against Wynnum at 4 p.m, I believe, 4 p.m. Queensland time, I think that is. If not New South Wales time, I can't remember. Don't quote me on it. And then we play the Cowboys. No, we play the Titans, I think. We play both of them. I think we played Titans first. I think it's a 7 p.m. game at Seabus. And then we play the Cowboys in Mackay. So there are our 3 trial games. If you guys are in any of the areas for those games, so make sure you go. If you want to go watch them play. Hopefully we'll have a great preseason as well as a great season. But boys, that's going to do it for the video. I've been rambling on for 21 and a half minutes. But look, appreciate you guys watching the video. Like and subscribe. Hopefully more videos to come. And I'll see you guys then. Peace.